that it's not flat. Otherwise, it's going to get hit hard. So look for him to throw it up there when he needs a big double play, a ground ball, something like that to get out of an inning, change it up for a hitter. Also, get those hitters looking down so that it opens up the top of the strike zone, especially late in an at-bat.
Francisco Lindor leading things off and takes a strike. That one off the mark, and now it's even 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Next offering is fouled back. Fights that one away, still 1-2. Line drive, that's a base hit into right field. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Well, that's one of those knocks where you almost expect to get some jabs from your teammates when you get back to the dugout. That line drive isn't going to light up StatCast or anything like that, but it gets the job done. And he just kind of caught it on a weird spot of the bat, but he didn't get cheated with the swing, that's for sure.
Little chopper rolls foul. Squirts away a little bit. Sonny Gray checks on the runner. Lindor back in there.
There's no way around it. Soto is one of the most exciting players in baseball. His hitting skills are so advanced, you'd think he played in Major League Baseball in a different life or something.
Ball to strike. That one fouled off. Runner at first with no outs here.
Ball.
And that one off the outside edge.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Fouled off again, and it remains 3-2.
Pretty good pitch there to take a rip at. He wants to get his arms extended. He likes the ball away from him a little bit, just not able to square it up.
Got him looking. He's got to be frustrated with that call.
It's a strikeout, but they'll be in good shape if they make their outs as difficult as that one. Those grinding ABs take a toll on a pitcher as the game goes on.
And now it's Mark Vientos.
And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
0-1.
That's a strike thanks to the sweeper.
That's a great take right there. Even though it's a strike, with the situation, runner on first base, you want to keep the ball off the ground. And you swing at that pitch, most likely you roll into a double play.
That one outside. 1-2 to count. Fastball is outside. That one misses, and that's ball 3. Hit on the ground up the middle. That's a base hit. Lindor around second, headed for third. In there safely.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Couldn't get any air under it, but he smoked that ball back up the middle. Timing was just perfect. Got great wood on it, and there was just no chance for the infielders with how hard he hit it.
And now it's the polar bear, Pete Alonso. And the first pitch misses for ball one.
The last thing he wants is to hit the ball on the ground, but I wouldn't expect many pitches up in the zone. They'll be pitching for a double play in this spot.
Runners are at the corners, one away. That smash towards center. He's got it. Here comes the runner from third. In comes the first run of the game. It's 1-0 Mets.
That wasn't your standard sac fly. He barreled that baseball, just couldn't get it to drop in.
Here's Brandon Nimmo. Check swing, and he went. Strike one.
0-1's the count.
Swing and a high fly ball in the air left field. That's back there. And that one is off the wall. Coming home. The relay. And he's out. Butt down, and that ends the inning.
Textbook defensive execution right there. Outfielder hits the cutoff man. Relay throw to the plate. A perfect strike and a great way to end the inning.
Back here in St. Louis, our starting pitcher in this one, Kodai Senga.
It's always interesting to see how he utilizes all of his pitches and how many of those he has a good feel for on that given day. When he's right, he's really able to keep hitters guessing, and all of his stuff seems to be coming out of the same arm slot, the same tunnel, and that can make life very difficult on his opponents.
And the batter will be the shortstop, Mason Wynn. Right through there for a strike. This one chopped to first. Alonso takes it to the bag, and a quick out, number one. Here's the Cardinals lineup now. Finding themselves down a run early, they'd like to punch back here with a run of their own.
Absolutely, Boog, but I don't expect them to change their approach because of that run. They still want to put together strong at-bats. Be patient out there and get a feel for this starting pitcher.
Next is the designated hitter, Alec Burleson. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
Counts 1-0.
One out, base is empty. Check swing, called strike. Hit hard on the ground is short. Sends it to first. And here this afternoon, two quickly away in the bottom of first.
Wilson Contreras.
Here comes Wilson Contreras.
Slice the other way. That's a base hit. So Nolan Arenado now gets a chance with two gone.
Went up there looking to be aggressive and got something he could handle. Nice job going the opposite way with it, letting the ball travel and not allowing the barrel to hook around the ball. It's so frustrating when you see a good pitch and your hands roll over. It was on the outside part of the plate, and he approached it perfectly.
Nolan Arenado in the box here lets that one go for a ball.
Ball two.
He's clearly trying to work him away here. Both pitches off the plate. If you really want to put the ball in play, you're going to have to stay back and drive it to the opposite field.
The 2-1. Fought off foul.
Well, you put good velocity in the head of the hitter. He's got to get it ready early and then change speeds. Keep him off balance. That's the goal.
2 outs. Here's a rocket out to left. Nimmo pulls that one down, and that is that. The Cards leave one, still behind by a count of 1-0. Back here in St. Louis, here's Jesse Winker.
The designated hitter, Jesse Winker.
Gray back to work. That one inside. Look out.
Well, you've got to establish the inside part of the plate early, and that sends a message not just to this hitter, but to the rest of the lineup as well.
And there's a foul ball. That's a strike. Attacked with the sweeper.
Man, that pitch was dotted. So much talent on display when this guy's out there on the hill.
On the outside corner, got him looking.
Wow, that's a tough call for the hitter, but the pitcher will take that all day long. Not quite in the strike zone, but he found a spot that the umpire is going to, at least for now, allow him to get that call. So hitters are going to have to make an adjustment, but pitchers are going to learn from those things and really try to exploit them if they can.
Next to hit, Tyrone Taylor. Just off the outside edge. And that is ball 1. One down, base is empty. Next pitch in for a strike. And the count even at 1. Gary Simmons has the plate duty in this one.
Well, with Simmons, it's not always your standard strike zone, Boog. It kind of gives a little extra in some parts of the zone and then can be tighter in others. But I think the important thing is he doesn't get labeled as inconsistent. So you got to stay ready up there.
Fires over to first. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the second.
Batting 8th, catcher, Francisco Alvarez.
Francisco Alvarez up now for the Mets. Delivers a pitch in for a strike at 95. Ball 1 there. 2 out, space is empty. On the ground and foul ball. And the right-hander deals.
That's ball 2.
That one to first. Contreras. He'll do it himself. And the Mets go 1-2-3. Nothing doing for the Mets, but they're on top 1-0. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Now up for St. Louis, Brendan Donovan.
Brendan Donovan.
And there's a ball. Laser could be trouble. Around first, heading for 2. And the bottom of the second starts with a double.
Everything came together for him. Anytime you rip a line drive the other way, you feel really good about what you did at the plate. You trusted your hands, you let the ball travel, and you took the barrel straight to it. That's great work right there.
So up next, Lars Nootbaar. You see the velocity, 97 with that fastball. Donovan stands at second with no outs. Comes up empty.
0-2 is the count.
Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
He came out of his mechanics there. Typically likes to shoot the ball the other way, but that time a little anxious.
Walker.
Jordan Walker, the next to hit. That misses the zone, and it's 1-0.
1-0.
Out to short. Toss to Alonso. And they get the out.
This lineup's going to have to find a way to make him work a little harder out there on the mound. I mean, he is just mowing them down. He's settling in. You got to make him uncomfortable. Maybe step out of the box, call timeout, do whatever it takes.
Ivan Herrera in the box now. No balls and a strike. Man at second. On the ground to the left. And it goes just foul. Next offering is down low. And that's downstairs and outside.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
In the air, right side of the infield. Alvarez under it. Nabs it. And that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, a double, no errors, and 1 man left. End of 2 here at Busch Stadium. It's the Mets 1 and the Cardinals nothing. And welcome back to the ballpark. And now here's Jeff McNeil.
Jeff McNeil.
Went with the sweeper for the strike. That's a base hit, and that turns the lineup over. So the batting order turns over, and now it's Frankie Lindor. Singled and scored his first time. That clips the inside corner for a strike. Lindor, a former Gold Glove winner, hitting leadoff in today's game. A former first-round pick back in 2011. Headed towards the corner. And that's a fair ball. Rudder stops at second. And the first 2 reach to start the inning.
A late jump, and I think that was the difference on the play, Boog. It's not always easy seeing the ball off the bat. Something to improve.
And now it's Juan Soto. Struck out looking his first time. That's off the mark. Ball 1. Right through there for a strike.
1-1.
First and second, no outs. We're here in the top half of inning number 3. Gets the strike. That was the sweeper. Here's a 1-2. Way inside, and that hit him.
Right there.
He had him 1-2, and he ends up hitting him with a pitch.
Now batting.
And next for the
third
Mets,
baseman,
Mark Vientos. Golden opportunity right here. And that's through there for a strike. 0-1.
The opportunity for a huge inning exists right here. Bases loaded, nobody out. But as a hitter, can't be over anxious. That pitcher's up against the wall. Make him come to you.
All loaded up. Dangerous hitter at the plate. Swing and a line drive, and that's a base hit into right field. One runs in. Save! And they're up by 3.
Oh, that's a big at bat coming through in the
Now
clutch to
batting,
drive
the
in a
first
pair.
baseman,
Nice job of driving that
Alonso.
pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly.
Here's Pete Alonso. This guy with light tower power. In there, and it's 0-1. Since debuting in 2019, no player in the majors has hit more homers than Pete Alonso. Here's the 0-2. And that's down and away.
2 strikes.
Action in the St. Louis bullpen. Riley O'Brien preparing to come on if needed. Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout. Nothing happening on the bases, though.
Well, obviously that was nowhere near the strike zone by the time it got to the plate, and people at home watching are thinking, what's he swinging at? But I'll tell you, some of the break guys snap off these days is just devastating. It can be so tough to recognize where a pitch like that's going to end up.
Here's the left fielder, Brandon Nimmo. Doubled his first time. Swing and a foul back. That's out of play. Soto, the runner at third. Vientos at first. One gone. Next offering is downstairs. And that one is lifted in the air. Scott settles underneath it. And he makes the catch. Runner tagging from third. He's in on the sac fly, and they lead by 4.
No, that's the third run of the inning, and this team is doing a nice job of executing at the plate right now.
So up next for New York, Jesse Winker. Go Chris through the early stages. He hasn't been very efficient in terms of the pitch count. He's going to need to get some quick outs if he's going to get deeper into this game. Ripped right field. That's back there. That one way back, and it's gone. And they boost their lead. It's 6-0. He absolutely crushed that one.
No doubt about that one, Boog. We knew it wasn't coming back.
Let's break out the StatCast numbers. And Singy, it tells us this home run was projected at more than 450 feet.
Yeah, and not many players can hit home runs as far as this one. That's a special feeling, and I'm sure he was giggling a little bit as he was jogging around the bases. That was one heck of a swing he put on the baseball.
Here comes the skipper out of the dugout, and he's ready to make the move. Sonny Gray will depart, and this is one he'd like to forget. Back with a new arm after this.
Now pitching.
New
for the
pitcher now,
Cardinals.
Riley O'Brien. He's into the
Number
game with the
55.
bases empty.
Riley O'Brien.
So 2 away with nobody on. Digging in, it's the speedy outfielder, Tyrone Taylor.
Fastball for a strike. 0-1.
0-1's the count.
Two down, nobody on. And
One
ball
ball.
1.
2 strikes.
0-2 pitch that far out of the zone gives the hitter a little confidence that maybe he can climb back into this at bat.
That misses the zone. 2-2. And a breaking ball misses outside. Two outs. No question about this one. It's out of here. They do it again. Back-to-back homers. And they add on. It's 7-0.
Those are the at-bats that leave pitchers exhausted. He had to throw a lot of pitches and still gave up the long ball. That's a bad combo. Back-to-back homers, always a special feeling at the ballpark, especially if it's your team that does it and those guys get to slap hands at home plate. This is the kind of thing that can really fire up a ball club.
2 outs, nobody on. And stepping in for New York, Francisco Alvarez. First pitch misses. Line drive, base hit. So a 2-out knock keeps the inning alive.
Now batting, second baseman Jeff McNeil.
Jeff McNeil stands in. 1 for 1 with a single so far. That to right. Walker gets under it and makes the grab. And that'll do it. But 2 round trippers in this inning. The long ball was working. It's now 7-0. You're dialed into the show. Bottom of the inning.
Leading
And
off
stepping in for the Cardinals, Victor
center
Scott.
fielder, Victor Scott II.
Well, every pitcher wants a run support, and having a lead is
0-1.
nice, but it can be challenging for some pitchers. I think keeping the mindset to attack instead of trying to be too fine and have too much finesse, go after hitters and get quick outs.
In there for a strike at the top of the zone.
I understand you want to try to gauge that guy's fastball, but you also have to be aggressive and ready to hit in your zone. Now you're in a tough spot.
Ball.
Well, he missed badly with that 0-2 fastball. Hitter has to understand, probably wants to try to put him away with that pitch, so got to stay ready for it.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. One gone here.
Well, you see him trying to pull that inside pitch right there, and that's not the kind of approach that you want to have. Even if you do get to it, it's going to be very difficult to keep it fair. You're just going to make it a long strike at best. You have to be able to stay within the baseball on the inside of that path to it, and that way, if you're a little quick, the ball gets hit hard somewhere, and it's not foul.
And there's the strike.
I think he was sitting off speed there.
1-1.
And now the count 1-2 after the swing and the miss.
Clearly he was sitting on a fastball right there and just ended up out in front of the slider. Hey, you can't fault him for his commitment. Now he's just going to have to battle with 2 strikes.
Swing and a ground ball. It's through for a hit. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Up next for the Cardinals,
Alec Burleson.
hitter.
Next up for the Cardinals. 0 for 1. He grounded out in his first at bat. Fastball for a strike. Runner on the go. In the air, left field, down the line, and that's a foul ball. Wynn leads off first with 1 away. Swing and a ball lifted in the air, and that'll fall for a base hit. Throw into third, and the throw's offline, safe at third.
Now batting, first baseman, Wilson.
Runners on the corners with 1 gone. And now Wilson Contreras. And he's already singled in this game. That misses the zone, and that's ball 1. And another ball.
Could be some action here on this next pitch. Couple runners on. Probably a challenge pitch coming.
Runners at the corners, 1 away here in the last half of the third.
Ball 3. 3-0.
Next offering in there for a strike. And now 3-1. Here's a high fly ball out to center. Taylor moving under it. He makes the grab. Runner tags for home. He scores on the sac fly, and they're on the board, but lots of ground to make up. Here's Nolan Arenado.
Up next for the Cardinals, third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
Swing and a miss as he was out front.
0-1's the count.
High fly ball out to center field. And that's the inning. So they pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. On to inning number 4. It's the Mets 7 and the Cardinals 1. Back here at Busch Stadium. Start of the 4th. Now it's the shortstop, Francisco Lindor. And that drops in for a strike.
Man, 91 on the slider right there. That's a hard one. That's a low-end fastball for some pitchers.
Next offering is fouled back. Line drive, and that's a base hit. Just kind of sliced that one into center.
Really nice job of two-strike hitting in that at bat. Handled that down and in breaking ball very well. He saw the break early coming from the other side and just let it get deep enough and drop the barrel on it at the very last moment.
So man aboard. Juan Soto now. That one is absolutely belted. And it's a one-hopper off the wall. Should be extra bases. Lindor zipping around third. He's safe. It's 8-1.
Comes through with the RBI. A lot of hitters tell themselves, line drive over the infielder's head. That's what I'm trying to do. Just keep that approach simple. And right there, it was perfectly executed. On time with everything and pulled it into the gap nicely.
Here's the third baseman, Mark Vientos. Off the mark there. Ball one. And that one hit 97 on the gun. One on, nobody out, a run in. Top half of inning number 4. And a ground ball to first. And he takes it himself for the out.
Now batting, the first baseman, Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso up now for the Mets.
You have to find a way to score the runner from third, especially with less than 2 outs. Wait for the pitch you want and hit it as hard as you can.
Slice to right and foul ball. Soto stands at third with one gone in the inning. Next pitch misses. 1-1. And a slider misses down and away.
Back-to-back breaking pitches away, you get the feeling as a hitter that the pitcher's afraid of you, that he doesn't want to challenge you. So I think the confidence level is raised right here.
That one finds the zone, and it's 2-2. Runner on at third, one gone.
I got 3 and 2.
In the dirt, nice job behind the plate. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Foul ball, and it remains a full count. That one down the line. Base hit and a run in to score.
Man, he just absolutely turned on that one, ripped it down the line. Nice job of staying in his mechanics.
One gone, runner at first. And next for the Mets, Brandon Nimmo. Pitch misses outside, and that's ball one.
This hitter loves attacking the first pitch, so not giving him something to hit is a good move.
Next offering is fouled back. That pitch gets the inside corner. 1-2. Still only one out here in the inning. And that one almost hit him.
2 strikes.
Straighten him up a little bit.
Ground ball right side, could be 2. Throw to second, not in time. He's there easily.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
And the batter now, Jesse Winker. He's already homered here in this one.
Yeah, that's in for a strike.
It's 0-1. One out. Runners at first and second. On the outside corner, and the count is 0-2. Ball 1 there.
0-2 count. You've got the opportunity to expand the zone. Could get the chase there. Let's see what he comes back with next.
Runners at first and second with 1 gone. That one way inside. Now this is in the air down the line. And that drops foul. Two now. And they'll do it again. Next pitch is downstairs. And it's fouled off. They'll do it again. Laboring here. About to throw his 30th pitch of the inning. Donovan. Glove flip for 1. On to first, double play. And that's the inning. They put 2 on the board on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left. To the bottom of inning number 4 now. It's the Mets 9 and the Cardinals 1. Bottom 4, now up for St. Louis, Brendan Donovan.
Second baseman, Brendan
Clearly down in this ball game, and you can't look at the deficit and try to get it all back in one swing. It's got to come one at bat at a time, and even shrink it down smaller, pitch to pitch. Make that guy on the mound work to get you out. You know, these Cards just lacking discipline at the plate in this ball game. So many of their outs have come from weak contact on pitches they're chasing outside of the strike zone. You can't do much of anything with those locations, and that's been true again today.
That misses the zone. 2-1.
And as a pitcher, when the hitters are swinging at everything, you feel no need to challenge inside the zone. You just keep working the corners and expanding that strike zone and beyond, and they just keep eating right out of your hand. I feel like I've seen more balls, and this is speaking as a former outfielder, former center fielder, but more balls in this game just out of the reach. Sometimes the angle's not great. Other times just got to give credit because the hitters hit the ball really hard. It jumped off the bat. But one thing we do know is warmer temperatures are.
Alonso snags it, and there's 1 down.
Up next for the Cardinals, right fielder, Jordan.
And up next for St. Louis, Jordan Walker. He's 0 for 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Just a bit tardy there. Not sure if he had a hard time picking it up out of the hand or if he was sitting off speed.
That's off the mark, and it's a ball and a strike. Man at first, 1 away.
Ball 2.
And that's outside. And the count is 3-1.
He hasn't fallen behind in the count like this all day. He's in danger of walking his first batter right here.
Swing and a miss as he was out front that time. The Mets up big in this one. We're here in the bottom of the fourth. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And he's registered 3 Ks in this one.
Now batting, catcher.
And now it's Ivan Herrera.
Herrera.
Swing and a pop-up. Foul at a play off to the right side. That'll find the stands. Pitch misses, and the count is 1-1. Gets him to chase after that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And there's a ball.
Ball 2.
And it's filled up.
3-2, 2 out, runner on first. A lot of movement in the infield. Hitter's got to stay focused on the pitch.
Swing and a miss. The velocity blasted it right past him. So 1 left for the Cardinals. They trail it big. It's 9-1.
Now pitching.
We're back, and there's a new arm on the mound to start the 5th. Zach Thompson.
57.
And with the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game.
Tyrone Taylor up now for the Mets. He's already homered in this game. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Well, these Mets really impressing me with the quality of their at-bats in this one. It's been fun getting a chance to see them go to work. It looked to me like they really wanted to get to the starter early, get him out of the game before he settles in. So I'd say mission accomplished.
That one's spoiled, and the count now 2-1. Swings and hits one in the air out towards right field. No trouble here. Puts it away for the out. And there's 1 down.
Now batting, catcher Francisco
Here's
Alvarez.
the catcher for the Mets, Francisco Alvarez. 1 for 2. And first offering is fouled off. One down, base is empty. Fastball for a strike.
Looked pretty good as far as being in the strike zone, but I'm sure as a hitter, not too good with where it was located. Very top of the strike zone, middle away.
Next pitch is outside. On the ground to first, Contreras. Throws to first in time.
Well, you want to try to protect the strike zone with 2 strikes there. And you see on that curveball, just sort of reached out, tapped it to put it in play. You want to do it with a little more authority so you have a chance to sneak it through. But just a pretty easy ground out right there.
McNeil in the box again. Takes a strike. Back to the mound. He's got it. Over to first. That's the 3rd out. So they go quietly there. Home half of the 5th coming up. It's the Mets 9 and the Cardinals 1. We head to the bottom of the 5th. And stepping in for the Cardinals, Victor Scott.
Victor Scott the second.
Senga back to work. And that misses. And it's 1-0.
You know, these Cardinals, as this game goes on, have to be more disciplined at the plate. Chasing pitches has been a big part of the story. We've seen it quite a bit today. It's been tough for them to make contact at times, and it just doesn't look like they're seeing it very well as a group.
Just
Nope, that's
missed.
the ball.
And on the mound, you know confidence has to be pretty high with all of the swings and misses. He's had them eaten out of the palm of his hand pretty much all game.
Swing and a liner foul off to the right.
Fans another, and that's 3 straight strikeouts.
You usually are going to see that inside fastball a little longer
Now
coming in
batting,
from the opposite
shortstop,
side, but that pitch really got in on him right there. I mean, that's a well-thrown pitch. Tough to do anything with that in terms of getting the hands through and the sweet spot of the bat to the baseball.
Wynn stands in now and watches strike 1. Base is empty, 1 away. Last half of inning number 5. And it's fouled away. And now
That's a ball.
1 and 2.
Too close for me, partner, to take that 0-2 fastball, but for whatever reasons, he let it go by. He's still in the at-bat. I don't think he'll let the next one go.
Make it 4 strikeouts in a row, just cruising along.
Got a little bit of a questionable
Now
call on that
batting,
fastball
the
right
designated
there.
hitter,
Appeared to miss off the outside just a little bit,
Burleson.
according to the electronic strike zone. But that's the type of location where you kind of have to understand that it's close enough to where you don't want to put the fate of your bat in the hands of the umpire. He did, and he got burned.
Stepping in, Alec Burleson. Swing and a pop-up in foul ground. And that is that. Back here in St. Louis, Francisco Lindor comes up to the plate. You talk about elite defensive players, especially in the middle of the diamond, and this guy is at the top of the list. And ball 1.
Yeah, we go beyond just the fielding percentage and what it looks like, but the ability to have a range and close holes that are normally there against an average defender. But this guy is special, and you can see it in his first step quickness.
Swing and a high fly ball, well struck left field. Nootbaar going back on this one. Holds it in on the warning track.
When you look at the ability to save runs defensively, but then also put runs up on the scoreboard, that's the kind of player that every championship team needs to have.
Here's Juan Soto. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. Gets it there in time, though. He keeps his composure, and they get the out.
Great job by the second baseman right there. Quick reaction and dive, knock that ball down, and big leaguers just don't panic, not the good ones. He gets up, makes the play, really good throw over to first base. That's the kind of composure that you want to see from a guy in that position.
Now the third baseman, Mark Vientos. Just missed.
Ball 1, no strikes.
Swung on, popped up on the infield. Contreras under it, and he's got it, and that'll do it. Mets go down quickly, but they still hold a commanding 9-1 lead. And we're back.
Leading
And now
off
the
for
first
St.
baseman,
Louis,
Wilson
first
Contreras.
baseman, Wilson Contreras.
And first offering is fouled off. Contreras goes 6'1", 32 years old, and he was born in Venezuela. That was the sweeper, but it missed. The 1-1. Popped up to the left, into foul ground. Alvarez makes the grab. One up, one
Now
down.
batting, third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
So now it's Nolan Arenado. Nolan Arenado at the plate. Arenado, guy who delivers big-time power at the dish and will probably go down as one of the greatest defensive third basemen of all time. Right through there for a strike. And speaking of that defense, it's hard to imagine that in high school, Arenado shared the left side of the infield with another elite defender, Matt Chapman at El Toro High School in California. One down, base is empty. And that one is inside. Runs it up to 96 to record the punch out.
Really love the pitch sequence right there. I'm telling you what, pitcher and catcher are on the same page right now.
Second baseman, Brendan Donovan.
Two outs, base is empty. Now up for St. Louis, Brendan Donovan. Just missed. Two down, nobody on. Way high.
Definitely a frustrating day for the offense, but when they look at it, this guy's had his best stuff. Been painting the corners, working on the edges, and changing speeds. Just a difficult one. You tip your cap.
Out to short. Lindor on to first. St. Louis goes down in order. Back here in St. Louis, top of inning number 7. And here's the first baseman, Pete Alonso. And there's the strike.
Well, he had a pretty good look at that pitch and not sure exactly what tied him up there. Couldn't pull the trigger, and perhaps the best pitch he'll see in this at bat to hit.
And a swing and a miss. One away. So up next for New York, Brandon Nimmo.
Brandon Nimmo.
And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
Base is empty, one away. Here in the top half of inning number 7. And now the count is even. High fly ball, and that one curling foul down the right side. One down, base is empty. Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Well, that's the money maker right there. 2 strikes, slider down and away from a same side thrower as the hitter. I mean, that's just tough. You're looking to protect with 2 strikes and very difficult to lay off.
Winker in the box now as he leaves that one up high. And that's pushed foul off to the left and out of play. Two outs. Up and in. Now 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss.
That pitch started in and ended up on the outside edge, just changing planes, and very difficult, especially for a left-handed hitter to track.
Hit on the ground to short. Win. Jump throw on the money. Nice play.
Pure athleticism on that one. In the air, legs split a bit, and fires across the diamond. He's going to get a lot of high fives in the dugout.
And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom of the 7th. Now the left fielder, Lars Nootbaar. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. Activity in the bullpen. Dedniel Nunez appears to be getting loose. Young warming up as well. That's outside.
That's a ball.
And 1-1. Outside with a breaking ball. On the ground, right side, and that's just foul.
Three-two.
Gets a piece and stays alive. Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
Well, it's just a great job of playing catch with the catcher. Exactly where the catcher set up is where he threw that pitch, and probably fooled the umpire a little bit because there was no budge at all.
So digging in, Jordan Walker. 0 for 2 in this one. And that's
Ball
downstairs. Ball 1. Upstairs.
Upstairs.
And that one upstairs. The Mets up big in this one. Here at the bottom of the 7th. That's ball 4. Tried another fastball, but missed the spot.
4 pitches. That's an easy walk,
Now
man. He could have
batting,
walked me right there,
catcher,
Boo. The last one wasn't even close.
One down. And now the catcher comes up to him. Ivan Herrera. And that one upstairs. Ball 1. Out towards left center. Lindor. They got it for out number 2.
Yeah, that's a tough play for the infielder, ranging back into the outfield. There's part of him that's saying, hey, where are you at, outfielder? Call me off. But he stayed focused and made a nice catch right there.
Here's
Now
the center
batting,
fielder,
center
Victor
fielder,
Scott,
Victor
who's 0 for 2 with a pair of
Scott,
strikeouts.
second.
Fastball for a strike at 95. Walker leads off first with 2 down to the inning. Ground ball right side. It squirts through. They stop the lead runner at second. Now 2 on with 2 outs.
Up next for the Cardinals.
Here's the shortstop at the plate. Mason Wynn, 1 for 3. The shortstop takes the ball.
1-0.
Two aboard, 2 outs. Out to short, Lindor. On to first, and that is the inning. This one pretty well decided at this point. 8th inning coming up. It's the Mets 9 and the Cardinals 1. We go to the
Leading
eighth,
off
and
for the
stepping in
Mets,
for New York,
center
Tyrone
fielder,
Taylor.
Tyrone Taylor.
Thompson back to work. And first offering is fouled off. To the right side, and that chance handled. Tosses to first. First out in the top of the eighth.
Now batting, catcher, Francisco Alvarez.
And next for the Mets, Francisco Alvarez.
With this kind of lead, he can swing freely, try to hit the ball out of the park, do what he loves to do.
And first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
A little out front there as he swings through it.
It's just been an impressive outing so far. Continues to pound the zone pitch after pitch, and he's been able to stay down. That's what's been key.
Fouled off, and they'll do it again. And that one misses up and in. And the count is 1-2. And that one missing inside, a sharp slider. Popped up. Donovan. 2 down.
Now batting, second baseman, Jeff McNeil.
2 down, base is empty. Jeff McNeil up now for the Mets. There's the strike.
0-1's the count.
Just missed.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
So a foul ball makes it 1-2. Two down, nobody on. Breaking ball in there, got him looking. That K is his 3rd of the game.
Now pitching for the New
Taking
York
over
Mets.
on the mound for the Mets,
Number
Daniel
72.
Nunez. And he's got a nice lead to work with, so he should come in throwing strikes, attacking these hitters.
So now here's the
Leading off for
DH,
St.
Alec
Louis,
Burleson.
designated hitter, Alec Burleson.
Edge in his zone for a strike. 0-1.
0-1.
There's a strike.
2 pretty nasty sliders to get this hitter in an 0-2 count. If you're up there at the plate, you got to look up in the zone and spit on anything that's down.
On the ground, right side. Alonso steps on first for the out.
Now batting, first baseman, Wilson Contreras.
And up to hit is Wilson Contreras. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Meanwhile,
0-1's the count.
activity in the bullpen. Ryan Stanek, the hard-throwing righty, is up and loosening. One down, base is empty. You see the velocity, 97 with that fastball. Swing and a ground ball, and that one gets through into center field. So a man aboard now with one away.
Well, that certainly feels good when you can win the at-bat after being down in the count, up against it with 2 strikes right there. Once you get the ball by the pitcher, there's a lot of base hits up the middle, even on ground balls. So a nice job to use that big hole and get himself a hit.
Here's Nolan Arenado. Fastball in for a strike, and it's 0-1. That one missed.
Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Swings over the top of that one.
Knowing
ball,
that the pitcher
2
wants
strikes.
a ground ball double play opportunity here, you've got to lay off pitches down in the zone. Right there, swinging at that pitch, that's a no-no.
Inside,
Ball 2.
just missed.
Boog, he never moved because he never had time to. But that kind of velocity, you'd prefer that pitcher work away.
Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Contreras leads off first with 1 away. That's down and in.
Count.
Swings and misses. He battled for a long time, but it finishes with a strikeout.
Now
You can't be
batting,
mad at yourself after an
second
at-bat like that
baseman,
one.
Brendan
Donovan. Next up for the
Donovan.
Cardinals. That one catches the corner for a strike.
0-1.
Just off the inside edge. And that's outside.
That's out.
Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. Got him looking. Called strike 3 and a fastball up in the zone.
Now pitching.
We're back.
for the
It's the top of the
Cardinals.
9th. And there's a new pitcher on the mound.
Number
Kyle
62.
Leahy.
I think it's got to be a little tough coming in out of the pen when your guys are trailing so big on the scoreboard. Just
Leading
doesn't
off
have
to
the
the
same
mound,
intensity to it, but he's got to find a way because these batters count the same for his stats, obviously, regardless of the score.
Sliced hard, but foul down the left side. Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. And a strikeout for the first out here in the 9th. Juan Soto will hit next. He's a guy who does it all. With the lack of contact in today's game, this guy hits for contact, so he delivers average, but there's on-base and slugging too.
At 96, that pitch is in for a strike.
Early in the count, you have to be real careful because of that power. But then if this hitter gets a strike or two on him, he's still very comfortable. And because he has the ability to get the barrel to the baseball, he's a threat deep into the count as well.
Foul ball. It stays 0-2. And that one almost got him. Base is empty, one away here at the top of the ninth. Good job to fight that one off. That's foul off to the right side, keeps the AB going. Outside low. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gets under it and pops it up. Arenado. And it's caught for the out.
Boy, that was a hanging breaking ball right there. I think he tried to do a little bit too much. Sometimes those eyes can get really big. I think his swing broke down as well, and that's what caused him to pop it up.
2 outs, base is empty. Here's the third baseman, Mark Vientos. That one a little bit high, and that is ball 1. Foul ball there. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Bottom of the ninth, and stepping in for the Cardinals, Lars Nootbaar.
Lars Nootbaar.
And there's a strike.
If you're not ready for that pitch, you're just going to swing and miss or pop it up, waste the at bat. If you're going to let it go, you better be ready to swing it.
There's the strike. Missed with a changeup. Now 1 and 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
And there's a ball. Swing and a miss, and he is down on strikes for the 3rd straight at bat.
Oh, really went aggressive in with that slider. Good 2-strike pitch right there. At worst case scenario, it's weak contact in play. Exactly where he and the catcher wanted it.
And that one is lifted in the air. Taylor makes a nice grab at a full sprint.
Well, those can be pretty fun as an outfielder. Got to put it into his highest gear and go a long way to track that one down. Nothing better than that. You feel like a wide receiver playing football.
Rips one to right. He puts it away, and that'll do it. The Mets take this one in a blowout.
This one was pretty much decided in the 3rd inning. From that point on, all they had to do is play fundamentally sound baseball to secure the win, and they did just that.
9-1 is how it ends. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long.